My name is Tonya Chagdes, and my son is Logan. He is a participant in Young Life, and he's been involved with Young Life since November of last year. And I wanted to write a letter to Austin Solly. Was Logan's teacher at Plainfield North, and he's involved in Young Life. And I wanted to write him a letter to really thank him for everything that he's done in Logan's life and for introducing him to Young Life. Dear Mr. Sully, good morning. My name is Tonya Chagdes. Logan is my son. I've been wanting to write you since before Christmas, so forgive me for waiting so long. I just have a couple things to say. For years after my divorce from Logan's dad, it was a struggle to get him to go to church with me every Sunday. I was lucky if he went once a month, and he never wanted to be involved with anything there like he was at our other church. When his dad and I were still married, Logan was always involved in Sunday school and youth group. He even played the guitar in the band when he was younger. It made me so happy. Being a single mom now and sitting in the auditorium of our church on a Sunday morning by myself, surrounded by families, doesn't really feel good. I have to admit, a lot of times I wouldn't go because I didn't want to be by myself. Sometimes I would find myself pushing my way to the middle of a row so it looked like I had a family with me. The more time that went by, the more upset I would become that I had done something wrong with my boys. Why didn't they want to go to church with me? I felt like if I had only made them go to church every Sunday, they would make better decisions. Or if I didn't work so much, or if I hadn't gotten a divorce, then they would be happier. It was all just so overwhelming. I felt pretty helpless, especially when it came to Logan. He was making a lot of bad decisions, and I felt really far away from him. In November, he had come home from school and set a crumpled up piece of paper on the corner of the kitchen table. When I asked what it was, he responded that it was a permission slip for some Young Life retreat that some kids at school wanted him to go to. I kind of knew what Young Life was because he had gone to some meetings prior to that, but never really seemed interested enough to go back. I was so excited, but I didn't want to get my hopes up, so I told him that I would pay for it if he wanted to go, and I filled out the form. He said he didn't think he wanted to, but I filled it out anyway. I left the form on the stairs leading to his room so he could see it every time he passed by. I prayed every day that God would open his heart to new opportunities. The permission slip sat there for 2 weeks and never moved. I finally was cleaning one day and I put it on his bulletin board in his room, and honestly, life got busy and I forgot about it. About a week later, Logan called me at work and asked if I remembered saying that he could go on this retreat to Geneva for Young Life. Yeah, I remember, I just asked him, do you want to go? Are you interested? And when he replied that he wanted to, I was silent. I just started crying on the phone. I handed the check to him that night when I got home, so afraid that he might have changed his mind in the last 8 hours, but he didn't. 1 week later, it was already time for the retreat. I remember the night before, he was running around the house trying to find a dummy phone because he had heard that the counselors were going to take all the students' phones, and he wasn't having it. I prayed that he would give his real phone up on the bus so he could be part of the entire experience. I didn't hear from Logan that whole weekend. Something changed in him in that Young Life retreat. I didn't really realize how much he had changed until a week later when we were at the airport leaving for Dallas. My older son, Cody, Logan, and myself were getting a bite to eat before our flight, and Logan said he wanted to talk to me. He pulled out a blue Bible from his backpack and held it in his hands as he spoke to me. He talked about you and the conversations that you guys have had. He talked about finding his way back to God, and he then told me how he was going to do that. He talked about the actions he was willing to put into motion in order to focus on his relationship with God. He spoke with excitement and passion. Honestly, I didn't even recognize this Logan. He was so mature and so sure of himself in this journey. It was amazing. But I'm almost embarrassed to say that it was so intense and that he had so many changes that I thought he had to make that I thought it would pass. Well, here we are, almost 2 months later, and his determination is even stronger than it was that day at the airport. The support that he has received from you and the kids in Young Life made the difference between a fleeting urge to be better and actually striving to get better every day. His relationship with God is growing so much. He sets his alarm for church now, which has never happened. He speaks differently. He reads the Blue Bible you have so generously given him instead of being on his phone all the time. He's going to church every Sunday. And the Young Life retreat that comes up, any Young Life retreat that comes up, he wants to go to. He's at Blast now with our church. God is changing him, and it's changing the entire dynamic of our family. So thank you. Thank you for helping me to raise my boy to make godly decisions. Thank you for being such an amazing role model for my son. Thank you for teaching Logan what it looks like to be a God follower. Thank you for showing me how one person can change somebody's life forever. It gives me the courage to want to reach out to people that cross my path. Thank you for giving my son back. I've missed him so much. It's been so emotional for all of us these last few weeks. Logan is getting used to a totally different lifestyle than what he has been accustomed to. His friends are changing. His life is changing. But my prayer is that he knows that one thing will never change: God's love for him.